In this video, we travel to Poway, California to visit an abandoned Highway 395 bridge that is also unfortunately the site of an infamous murder. Despite tens of thousands of people traveling by the old Highway 395 bridge every single day, as Interstate 15 is just a few feet from it, the bridge cannot be seen from pretty much any road in the area. To get to the bridge, from Mercy Road, we took this unmarked path that used to be Highway 395 and now is a bike path. Despite being in a heavily populated part of San Diego County, we ran into very few people on our visit. After walking no more than a quarter mile at most, we arrived at the bridge. This bridge was built in 1949 and was in use until 1967 when it was bypassed by Interstate 15. Here you can see the 1949 date marker on the bridge, somewhat hidden by the overgrowth. Now, I'm not sure if it's due to its location, but we noticed this bridge was more basic than a lot of the other Highway 395 bridges from the same time period. And here's a look at just how close this bridge is to Interstate 15. Because it's so close and so much lower, you can't actually see the old Highway 395 bridge from the interstate, which leads to a tragedy that we'll get to in just a minute. Sometime after the bridge was decommissioned as a road in 1967, it was made into a bike path. Though as you can see from the tread marks on the bridge, cars do still manage to make their way out there. And this bicycle engraving is located on the north end of the bridge. It's a little hard to make out, but the bridge also has a slight curve to it. There is a small creek that goes underneath the bridge, and we were also surprised to see some people horseback riding nearby. And here's a look at the bridge from below. From underneath you could kind of make out the curvature, how everything doesn't quite line up exactly. And from underneath the bridge you could still see the outlines of the plywood from when the bridge was made. And here's another look at how close Interstate 15 is to the old Highway 395 bridge. Which brings me back to why this bridge is infamous and why it's a sad place to visit. On December 27, 1986, 20-year-old Cara Knott was pulled over by Highway Patrolman Craig Poway, who led her to the bridge, strangled her to death, and then threw her body off the bridge. Poway was sentenced to 25 years to life, is still in prison, and has been denied parole twice already. Below the bridge, not far from where Cara's body was found, Sam Knott, Cara's father, set up the San Diego Crime Victims Memorial Oak Garden. The garden memorializes mostly younger victims of crime in San Diego County, though there are some memorials to police officers killed in the line of duty as well. Sadly, nearly every oak tree at the garden has a memorial attached to it. And here is the memorial for Cara Knott. Unfortunately, the story takes an even sadder turn because in November 2000, Sam Knott died of a heart attack sitting at Cara's memorial. This bench was placed next to Cara's memorial to honor him. In addition to a few other benches to sit at, the oak garden also has this gazebo, and sadly this long pathway of painted rocks, most of which have somebody's name written on them. So that's our look at the old Highway 395 bridge in Poway, California. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and we'll see you next week when we'll hopefully have something a little bit more cheerful.